Hi, my name is Nicole Robles, and this is a tutorial that I created for the Digital Creation Sharing Group. Now this tutorial is about how to make these really adorable chalk decals that everyone is enjoying at the moment. So I'm going to show you 3 images that you're going to find to do your art decals. So the first image that is common is a clip art with color. The next one is clip art that's black and white, or a ping clip art, which is a clip art that's already cut out for you. Let's start with the colored clip art. Now the first thing that we're wanting to do is to get rid of the color that's in the clip art. So we are going to go over to our erase tool here, go down and select Magic Erase Tool. After we select the Magic Erase Tool, click on the colors you'd like to get rid of. Now, see how it only got rid of part of it? This is okay. What you can do to correct this is take off continuous and bump up your tolerance to about 40. Now click on it again. See how it took care of it all at once, but without cutting into the black line. Do the same thing for the yellow, the pink, and the white. Okay, so now we're left out with just the black outline. After you have just the black outline, you're going to go to your marquee tool. Rectangular marquee tool right here on top. This would be the best one to use for this image. Make sure your image is completely inside your marquee tool. Now go to your move tool, which is located right above your marquee tool. Now you're going to grab your image and try to move it. Once you try to move it, you're going to see marching ants form around your image. Once you have the marching ants form around your image, you're going to go back to your erase tool. We're going to select the erase tool. Make sure it's set on 100 and erase all of the black line inside your marching ants. Now that everything's erased from inside your marching ants, we're going to go to our brush tool, which is right here, brush tool. And up here you will find your brushes. Make sure you find and locate your chalk brush. Once you have your chalk brush, I would set probably this down to 91. Between 91 and 95 is what I like to keep it. I'm going to go ahead and do 93. I do this just because I like it to be just a little bit see-through. Now select your desired color. You can change your colors down here in these 2 bottom boxes. I'm going to select white for right now and press OK. So now inside the marching ants, go ahead and start coloring in with your chalk brush all the way through. Okay. Now that I've gone all the way through, I'm going to grab my lasso, right click and press deselect. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. There's a few areas I would like to be a little bit more fuller with the chalk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here to edit, undo deselect. Now you can use this hotkey right here. I normally use this hotkey, but I'm just showing you where you can find it. So undo deselect. So that puts the marching ants back around it. I'm going to go back to my paint tool and kind of fill in those areas that I thought were maybe just a little too thin. Lasso tool, and then I'm going to deselect. Okay, That looks pretty good. That is how you do the chalk decal with colored image. Now let's go ahead and go to the black and white and do it with this one. Now what I can see here is I'm going to add a little chalkboard on the back here so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull this down, drag this over, and put it behind my little guy here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my erase tool, magic erase tool. Now remember, I have continuous off. When you have continuous off, when you click on a white area, it'll get rid of white all throughout the picture instead of just one area. See how I got rid of everything all at once? Now if I were to hit the continuous, it only gets rid of the white up to the black line. Either one works, but to me, if you take the continuous off, it makes it just a little bit more easier. Okay, so now you're going to go back to your marquee tool. Make sure all of your image is inside the tool. Move tool. Move your image slightly until you have marching ants all around it. Erase tool. Erase all the black lines. Paint tool. Make sure you have your desired color. I think this time we'll go ahead and do yellow. And go ahead and paint in with your brush chalk tool all inside the marquee, or the marching ants, excuse me. Alright, and your deselect tool, and hit deselect. Okay, now we're going to go to our ping tool. Our ping tool is already cut out for us, so we don't have to use the erase tool starting out. We're just going to go straight to the marquee tool. I'm going to click on the chalkboard here so I can see where my chalk line is going to be. Move tool. Okay, we have our marching ants. We're going to go ahead and erase the black lines. Chalk. Let's do orange this time. And fill in the inside. Lasso tool and deselect. Okay. So we had our color, our black and white, and our pink. Okay, so what I want to show you guys next is how I got this little guy colored in like this. So I'm going to go back to my image. I am going to erase all the white, so go to your magic erase tool, erase all of the white. Okay. Now that I've erased all of the white, I'm going to use my marquee tool, then my move tool, and get my marching ants. I'm going to go to my brush tool now, but I'm not going to use my chalk brush. I'm going to use just a regular brush, and I just want to color it in white because this is just going to be kind of a guideline and a template. Now I'm having a hard time seeing the white, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over a chalkboard. Now normally I would just do this on the main image that I'm working on, but I wanted to make sure this was up close so you guys can see. So that's why I'm doing this one piece at a time like this. Okay, now I can see my white outline. I'm going to go back to my marquee tool so I can select my image and get my marching ants. Go to move. Now that I have my marching ants, I don't want to color where the white is. I would like to color the inside of the sun here, where his face is and the outside here. So what I need to do is go to lasso and select introverse. Now my move tool has selected the inside or the opposite of my sun. So now I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, locate my chalk brush, choose a color. I want to do yellow for the inside of his face. I kind of like an orangey yellow. And I'm going to bring my opaque down to 91. And I'm going to start coloring in the inside of his face. I'm going to try to stay inside and bumped up right against that white line as much as I can. Now see, if you go over the white line like I did a little bit right here, I'll even go over just a little bit more so you can see. See how it's over like that? You want to go to your erase tool right here. I need to bring this down. And erase all the way up to the white line. Just clean it up a little bit. Okay. So now I want to paint the outside of the sun's rays here, and I think I would like to choose an orange. Now I want to keep this yellow I used just in case I need to add some more yellow. So I'm going to click this little switch foreground and background colors. So I'm going to flip it. Select this white box and I'm going to pick an orange. Press OK. So now here's my two sun colors that are saved for me. I'm going to go back to my brush tool and I'm going to brush in the rays. Now I am running over just a little bit, and that's okay. Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to erase that. This is kind of a tight squeeze. So that's all right. Okay. I'm going to go back to my erase tool and erase any excess, sorry. Now this tends to be a little bit more time consuming, but the effect is really cute. And I think worth a little bit of extra time to get that color. kind of erased a little bit too much there, so I'm going to kind of just pounce that back in there a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go back to my paintbrush because I see a couple little areas I'd like just a little bit more in, and I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit and just kind of hit those areas. And the tips are important because that's what's going to form our triangle, so I try to make sure I at least get the tips. And just erase some of the excess. Okay, so now that I have that all drawn in, I'm going to deselect. Okay, that's cute, but there's this white line around my image now, and I'd like to get rid of that. So I'm going to undo deselect and get my marching ants back. And a little bit right here I'm going to take off. And I'm going to get rid of the white now. So I'm going to take my lasso, select introverse again. Now I'm going to grab my magic erase tool, take my continuous off, and click the white on the inside. Okay, I'm going to go to my lasso and deselect. And now I have my sun. Now, there's a little bit on the outside here. You can go back with your erase tool and just kind of hit it. And anywheres that you may have missed that extra little chalk. Like I said, this one's a little bit more time consuming, but it has a really cute result. Now, that looks pretty good. I am going to, I don't like how sharp these lines are here. It's a little too crisp for me. So I'm going to go to our erase tool. And I'm going to go up here to my brushes. Now you can load your chalk brush in your erase tool. And I'm going to bring this down to about 47. And I'm just going to kind of erase the edge just a little bit, just to kind of soften it to where it's not so crisp and hard. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now that is how I created the colored chalk sun. We're going to go ahead and move this guy right over here. And you have your chalk sun. Okay. Thank you for listening to my tutorial. This is my first audio tutorial, and I hope it wasn't uh, too annoying. So, thank you, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know.